Chris Wilder turned up to the playoff final dressed like a bin man.
All you've got is the past, distant past.
2 rival fans.
Without us, there'd have been no Sheffield United.
You couldn't live up to the Blades nickname.
5 rounds of fierce debate.
No competition in terms of fan base.
We could move to San Diego and we'll still get 40,000 people there every week.
Bragging rights up for grabs.
Premier League was inducted in 1992. We've done 8 seasons in there. You've only done 6.
In terms of what you've done in the last 20 years, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Each player must use their time wisely before whacking their big red button to pile the pressure on their opponent.
3 caps, 1 goal, 33%, 1 in 3 England record. Not many beat that.
You're playing teams like Stevenage and Peterborough. We're going up against dominant sides like Sunderland.
Best of 5, winner takes all. This is SunSport Stoppage Time. We've got Jimmy representing Sheffield United and we have got Dan Fudge representing Sheffield Wednesday. The Steel City derby here on Stoppage Time. Lads, this is round 1. It is Dan to speak first. There's 30 seconds on the clock and the topic is Sheffield Wednesday have far more class as a club than Sheffield United. It's 3, 2, 1, go.
Chris Wilder turned up to the playoff final dressed like a bin man. He was a donkey jacket short of giving it the full routine.
Is that the Championship playoff final that we were talking about?
It was the Championship playoff final, but that was also the same season in which your manager started singing about sausage rolls in some terrible banter for 5-year-olds.
Oh, right, 5. OK, fair enough. So you wouldn't have enjoyed that if that were part of your team?
I'd have probably enjoyed it, but I'd have been a bit classier about it, you know what I mean? I'd have gone, look, we've had a good game, it's been a good time, let's do it in a nice way.
Such as chants from the fans in terms of derogatory things to players. Is that what we're talking about? There were other sort of classy chants that have been going in and around the last few years. Is that classy from Sheffield Wednesday?
I couldn't honestly possibly talk about what you're talking about, but I don't think we're the only fan base to start doing some, low-brow chants.
Go.
You're not at all, and I don't think you can tarnish one club with one brush. However, it doesn't state towards much classy in terms of fan base, does it? It's not really a mark of the time.
That's excellent start on Stoppage Time. Let's have a quick post-match reaction from the two of you. Dan, you first. How do you think you got on?
Well, it's easy to talk about class when you've got Chris Wilder in charge of the opposition, you know what I mean? It's actually, it's an easy leap to make, that one. I enjoyed that. That was all right. I felt like I had a gimme on that one.
Yeah. Jimmy, thoughts, feelings, emotions?
Tough. What do you class as a classy fan? You don't want to sort of have a sweeping statement about a fan base, but I was struggling to come back from the Chris Wilder comment, I'm completely honest. So there you go.
Really isn't too much recovery from that. Right, what I will say, what I've heard, I'm writing on my trusty notepad, as usual, bin men and sausage rolls. Never heard either of those words uttered on Stoppage Time in the past. So that's a first. Well played. What I would say, I think your rebuttal, I was like, oh, here we go. He's going to talk about some chants towards players. Lacking examples a little bit. Go on.
Tough examples to give, to be honest.
Yeah. Not very brand. No. Fair enough. Yeah, well...
unsavoury.
You did really well.
Yeah.
Sensible decision as far as the content goes. Unfortunately, it does lose you the point.
That's all right.
First round. It's 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday.
Not heard that a lot recently.
Big doubt, yeah, I'll take that. Big win, 3 points.
You might get a point for that comeback, actually. Gentlemen, this is round 2. You've got 1 minute and 30 seconds on your clock. It will be Jimmy to speak first. And the topic is, Sheffield Wednesday have had more iconic players than Sheffield United in the Premier League era. 3, 2, 1...
Oh, we have to cast our minds back a fair bit for the Sheffield Wednesday players, don't we, Dan? It's going to take us a little while to think of those. I'll give you a bit of time. We'll start, if we're going way back, we'll start with Brian Deane, the first ever Premier League goal scorer. It writes his name in history. Can't remember many Sheffield Wednesday players doing that.
I think there's plenty of Sheffield Wednesday players did that. We've got players who play for us like Paolo Di Canio, Benito Carboni, and then you go further back to England players like Chris Waddle, Des Walker. There's more caps in there as well. And let's not forget Chris Waddle's free kick against you lot in '93.
Why do we have to even mention that, to be fair? It's not even part of the debate. What I would say is, are their grandkids now ready to come into the first team?
Listen, I will have it that Brooke Waddle has become a very good singer over recent years. And there's been some, there's a number of players that carried on in the Premier League once we dropped out of it that you mentioned. So Emerson Tone, Mark Pembridge, all played in Premier League clubs long after we were Premier League players, which means, they were born and raised in the Steel City and our half.
Is that seriously an argument you're going to go with? Is that something you're comfortable with? Because we've got Kyle Walker, we've got Harry Maguire, we've got Illiman and Dye, we've got loads of players that we can name for that. But not only that, recent history will tell you that players like George Baldock George Baldock. I had a load of players ready to come, and I can't think of them. So I'll just pass it back to you for a minute.
Yeah, we've got some Premier League legends in there. So Paolo Di Canio, you're a West Ham fan, scored that scissor kick in the back beans on toast, didn't he? Kevin Pressman's there. He stalwart of the Premier League for a good 8-9 years before we fell out of it. That was a terrible example. How are you getting on with your list, Jim?
Better now, thank you for the time. Jack O'Connell, John Egan. Who else we've got? We've got loads of players. I can name them all day long. John Fleck. Don't be doing this. This is a West Ham fan trying to throw me off pace.
Yeah, there's a reason I mentioned West Ham in there, trying to get it in. But yeah, I feel like our players, we've got a lot of Premier League legends. Dan Petrescu played for us for a number of years. We also had David Hirst, hardest shot in the Premier League. All right, his knees are made out of biscuits nowadays, but back then he was an absolute monster of a player. He could have been Alan Shearer had it not been for that injury he got against New Zealand. 3 caps, 1 goal, 33%, 1 in 3 England record. Not many beat that. All right, we're not all that geezer that played for Southampton. We're not all Ricky Lambert.
I'm sorry, did you just use hardest shot as a reason for best ever player? Hardest shot. OK, and Dan Petrescu, who had a more successful season playing for Bradford City in the Premier League.
Success is all relative, isn't it? You know what I mean? We got him a good couple of £1 million move to Chelsea, where he managed to oust, Mr. Chelsea himself, Steve Clarke. So, he born and raised. We brought him up. We carried him through. And
you carried him through to Bradford. And is that your measure of success? Oh my word! Is this even a debate? Come on, let's be right. It's one way. This
time. Favourite round of stoppage time of all time. What a round, what an exchange. Jimmy, we'll go to you first. How do you think you got on?
I've taken that. I've taken that hands down. And if there's any sort of steward's inquiry into this, it's a West Ham thing, surely. I nearly named Tevez as one of your best players in Premier League.
Fair enough, lads. I'm just gonna whip through some of these. If I'm honest, there was a lot more in here that I was genuinely impressed by. First of all, great strategy naming Brian Deane from the off. Played for West Ham, happy days, huge tick. But Paolo Di Canio, the greatest player of all time, ever to wear the claret and blue. Obviously, the famous push on the referee at Sheffield Wednesday, an iconic Barclays moment. Let's just go through another couple of these names. Benito Carboni, Chris Waddle, Walker, Emerson Tome.
Emerson Tome.
We haven't done.
Disgraceful shout, to be honest.
For Chelsea and Sunderland in the Premier League.
How did he do for Sheffield Wednesday?
A lot of stuff going on, a lot of things happening, a lot of players.
Who else did we write? Kevin Pressman, Dan Petrescu, by the way, one of the greatest lines of stoppage time we've ever had. Any context to that?
No, just his name.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely.
You need that to make it work.
Now, Brian Deane, I must admit, Jimmy, a bit of a stalled start. I think you mentioned John Fleck at one stage. You've gone with Brian Deane. You'd only mention one name after about 45 seconds. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Carl Walker, Harry Maguire, and Dye. Not sure he gets in the club with those two.
You'll come back to me in 3 years' time.
Does he get
when he's winning Ballon d'Or?
And then we went George Baldock, obviously. Yeah. John Egan, I think we went.
Yeah.
Little bit of stuttering though in there, Jimmy. What happened?
I got thrown off by David Hirst replacing Alan Shearer. What can I say? I didn't know where I was. So yeah, I wanted.
I've realised the tactic here. I've got a tactic here. Just throw something random in.
Chris Wilder's 9th place finish. That's what I wanted to go through that team.
Listen, lads, that was, if I'm honest, absolutely phenomenal stuff. One of my favourite rounds of stoppage time that we've done in the 12, 13 episodes or whatever it is now. Stoppage time never stops, as we know.
True.
But unfortunately, I do have to call it, that it's unfair that one of you will lose that round because it was brilliant. However, I think that was a slightly harder round for Dan to argue. Some of those names were unbelievable. Any round where Paolo Di Canio is mentioned and I don't give that player the win, my dad would never forgive me. So it's 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. The old West Ham mention there. And what else have we got?
Sorry, Jimmy. It was never time.
You're not sorry at all. You're not sorry at all. This is disgraceful.
What a round of stoppage time. This is round 3. Jimmy, this is the business time now. The comeback is on. It's got to be now. If you're going to win, you have to win this round. 15-second round, this one. Lads, this is the least time you will have to speak for the entirety of stoppage time. You've got to be concise. You've got to get the points up. You've got to do them quickly. And you've got to do them in a humorous fashion. That much is important. Because normally I forget what you've said. I just remember who I laughed at. 15 seconds. If one Sheffield club had to disappear forever, it should be Sheffield Wednesday. It's Dan to speak first. In 3, 2, 1, go.
we've got to stay because you've not won out, and it wouldn't affect any of the records.
We've won loads in our time, and if we hang around for long enough, we might find out who stays.
I don't think I can say much about that, but in terms of how it stands right now, we're still a club. We've won some things. We've won a trophy. Let's have it ourselves.
Oh, unfortunately, he's run out of time to tell you what he's won because they've won nothing. They've won absolutely nothing. We've won 4 FA Cups. We've won 1 League One Championship. You've won no. Tell me what you've won.
Time. Oh, lads, excellent stuff. The 15-second round always gets people. The heat is on. Jimmy, how do you think you got on? You needed that one.
Well, I nearly mentioned Paolo Di Canio, to be honest, just to make sure I got the points. But, you know, it's I've got to attack in that, surely.
Yeah. Go on, Dan, what do you think?
I'm really annoyed. I think I said the same point twice.
Yeah.
I think I dropped that.
The 15 seconds were a killer.
15 seconds, it was
Starting
ticking away.
first were hard.
Yeah, and I went, wait, what? I just kind of went.
Right, lads, I'm going to call it. What I will say, I admire the ruthlessness of a player who wants to win stoppage time, a round of stoppage time, so much that he will mock the other players, the other players' team who may soon go out of business.
Yeah.
Some people will watch and think that is well out of order. Not me. Stoppage time is a matter of life or death. Therefore, the round goes to Sheffield United. It's 2-1.
It's about time.
That was a good line.
It's about time.
That was a good line.
The comeback could well and truly be on Jimmy. Excellent. If not somewhat ruthless in round 3 there, but, you know, fair play. You've got to take the wins where you can get them, haven't you? This is stoppage time after all. This, lads, is your 1-minute round, and it's quite simple. Sheffield Wednesday have way better fans than Sheffield United. It's Jimmy to speak first. It's 3, 2, 1, go.
It is the classic argument of attendance FC. Sheffield Wednesday are here, everybody, taking 3,000 fans to QPR. Well, I'm afraid they haven't had better attendances than us for the last 20 years. What are you going to say about that, my mate?
Just surely based on playoff turnouts, don't we normally get more tickets from the other team every time we've gone to playoffs? 60,000 at Cardiff, come on, man.
You get more tickets than the other team because you're playing teams like Stevenage and Peterborough. So you can't say that when we're going up against dominant sides like Sunderland. You can't use that argument when you're playing against lowly League One teams, pal.
You're going to have to remind me of the question here. We're not talking about attendance FC, are we? We're talking about something else. We're talking about the best fans. We are the better fans, you know. We had a couple of clowns that were a bit out of order, and we ended up raising 29 grand for charity. We always come together in times of need. We'll stick up for... And we also had the buckets out to make sure we saved Rotherham United as well. So we're the best ones, right?
Of course that's going to be your argument, mate, but come on. There's no competition in terms of fan base. We are significantly stronger in terms of home attendances. You are nowhere to be seen. You're even refusing to go to some of your games at the minute because of the state that your club's in. So what? You're not even turning up and you're trying to claim that you're a better fan base. I don't understand it.
Attendance FC will always be Sheffield Wednesday's title. It will always be something that we always rely on. We sell out away games every time there's tickets going. And all right, albeit, a lot of them have been League One. I know you're going to get there. I feel like that's that bit in 8 Mile where he starts self-deprecating himself. Yeah, but we're still selling them. We're still doing it. And we're still getting 24,000 even in League One. That's what we do.
Oh, 24, bless you. That's really nice. Really nice that you're getting them sort of numbers. But we talk about not having class in terms of some of the derogatory things you were saying. We'll leave that to one side. What about when Derby were going under? We can't wait to see Derby die. Now, is this something looking familiar now? Is it?
Time. Go.
Yeah, screw Derby County. But we'll look after Rotherham. We'll South Yorkshire.
Bananas.
Carlos Tevez. Well, fingers crossed there's no Derby County fans watching, first of all. Lads, absolutely brilliant stuff. Attendance FC, loved it. Excellent rebuttal when you were saying, well, you're going to get more tickets when you're playing Stevenage and Peterborough. It's exactly the defence I was hoping to hear.
For one of us to try and claim the Attendance FC crown in Sheffield is always going to be a big tear-up between us because we're like, no, we turn up more in spite of adversity. No, we do.
Yeah.
We're spending our money stupidly.
We're the best supported worst team.
Yeah. No, we're the worst. Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Yeah,
It's a tough chat.
I very much liked it. What I would say, it's going to come down to not a lot. Again, that was very much a nip and tuck round. Jimmy, to be fair, what I do admire, you got a little bit of props in the last round for your ruthlessness.
I did, thank you.
And my favourite bit of that, because it was nip and tuck, was it's all very well talking about attendances and how many fans you may or may not get, but at the moment you're refusing to go. What a noble cause it is for which they are refusing to go, but made me laugh. I love it. It's 2-2 and stoppage time.
Come on.
This is round 5 of stoppage time. It's 2-2. This could change your life, whoever wins this round. It's Dan to speak first. There's 2 minutes on the clock, so you've got the most time to talk that you've had for the entire game. And the topic is nice and simple. And it's simply that Sheffield United are a bigger club than Sheffield Wednesday. 3, 2, 1, talk.
4 top league titles.
When?
1902 and the season after, and 1928 and the season after. Stats. And there's also the fact that, you know, the Premier League was inducted in 1992. We've done 8 seasons in there. You've only done 6.
13. 2013. You haven't beaten us in 2013. That wasn't my original point, but I'll come back to it.
Yeah, it's, you've got the bragging rights of late, but over time, over everything that's happened, we're still older, bigger, better, and I'm going to use the word massive.
Oh, man, he's gone there. He's gone there. So what? All you've got is the past, distant past. In the last 20 years, name one metric you're better than Sheffield United.
I'm going to say attendance in League 2. I mean, you know what I mean? That's League 1, sorry. And attendance in the third tier of football, we're better at that. But, you know, I completely understand, but I still believe that we're a bigger club, you know. We've been going for a lot longer. You know, you've stolen our nickname that we used to have. You know, you can have that. That's yours. That's fine. You've got our old ground. You know what I mean? Without us, there'd have been no Sheffield United.
You couldn't live up to the Blades nickname. You couldn't hold as many fans as required to fill Bramall Lane at the time. That's why we're there and we've taken your name, because we are the dominant side in Sheffield.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. There's also the point as well that, you know, Hillsborough's a bit out of town. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit of a ball ache to get to, don't get me wrong, but we still get all those people to that part of town. You know, there's no tram there, it's rubbish, you know what I mean? There's no motorway there, but we're still turning up, even though the infrastructure's terrible.
So what we've established there is you're not in Sheffield City Centre, which we are. We call you South Barnsley for a reason, don't we? Because you're not even anywhere near the town centre. And now we've already acknowledged in a previous round, you don't get any fans there. So you may have had some in years gone by. No one's attending now. You're not even in Sheffield. How are you the biggest club there?
Because we don't need to be. We're already that good. You know what I mean? It could be like an American franchise. We could move to San Diego next to the Chargers and we'll still get 40,000 people there every week.
So you're MK Dons.
MK Dons are taking our players. MK Dons wish they were Sheffield Wednesday. You know what I mean? That's how good that is. But no, I still feel that we're the better team. You know, we've got a lot more history. We've got a lot more going on. There's a whole history about the most unique name in the Football League. And there's also the cricket club history and all the rest of it that ironically used to be called Sheffield United Cricket Club.
You're named after a cricket club, is that right? In terms of they played cricket on a Wednesday, and you're claiming that as a badge of honour?
No, we were called Sheffield United Cricket Club, and then we could only play football on a Wednesday, so we were known as the Wednesday, and that's why there's no other team named after a day of the week. The time, Pentecost.
So, Sheffield Pentecost. Okay, so you are claiming that you were the former Sheffield United, so you're now a Phoenix club, is what you're saying, basically. You're like the FC United of Manchester compared to our Sheffield United. Is that what we're saying? Is that where we are? That's where we've come to in all this. I've got 45 seconds now to talk about how big Sheffield United are. Talk to me. We can't talk to me, can you? But in terms of what you've done in the last 20 years, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's insignificant. But compared to what Sheffield United are doing, building and building over time, this season might not have got off to the best of starts. We'll give you that. There's been a bit of a yo-yo, but what you'd give to be a yo-yo club between the Championship and the Premier League, paying £20 million for players, that's worth more than your entire squad. Barry Bannon is the best player that you've had in the last 20 years. Are you joking? Chris Waddle would walk into your team right now. You talk about the free kick he scored against us. He could be doing the same for you in League One next season, considering what you've got on offer at the minute. All players are leaving for nothing. They don't want to play for you.
Can I buy another 30 seconds? Can I buy some time? Do you take contactless?
Oh, lads, absolutely brilliant stuff. Dan, you left yourself you gave Jimmy an awful lot of time at the end. And as a man who is susceptible to recency bias, I'd be worried if I was you. What was you thinking with your time management?
I didn't think he could talk for 47 seconds. So I've
not seen the ramble, have you?
Yeah. I genuinely thought that if I get some stats and figures and all that out, get that out of the way, because you're right, you know what I mean? Over recency, he's not going to be our friend on this one.
I meant recency in that he was the last one talking for ages. I've forgotten all the things you said.
Correct, yeah. He didn't say anything of note, if you want to be reminded. Didn't say anything. That was the plan, to be fair.
That was absolutely exhilarating, lads. What a way to end stoppage time. What a decider that really was. Making my job, frankly, almost impossible. But let's run through some of my favourite lines from that round, right? So you started off fairly straight bat, 4 top flight titles, right? I thought they were defended very well when you put them on the spot and said, right, when were they? You reeled off the dates immediately. I had no idea you won them in 1902 and 1903.
Yeah, jot that down.
No one does.
Nobody alive now.
Yeah. The famous top flight win of 1928. Yeah.
And here are the team. Oh.
Exactly. Yeah. It's hardly the Aguero moment, was it? But fair play. You were put on the spot. You came up with a stat. So I was like, fair play. That's the first one I wrote down. You used the word Sheffield Wednesday are massive. I don't know if that was a deliberate ploy.
That is the rules.
Yeah.
So when, there are 2 things that have to happen. When Sheffield United make Sheffield Wednesday, that's going to haunt me. When Sheffield Wednesday make a bid for a player, the headline has to read "Owls swoop for." That's the rules.
Yeah.
And then when they sign, they have to use the term "massive."
Yeah,
that is the rules. That is the rules.
Yeah. Well, look, one of my favourite West Ham songs is "West Ham are massive everywhere we go." So you got a tick for the use of the word
we
massive.
don't sing that.
Maybe you should.
Is that a West Ham song? Or is that a generic football song?
Do you think it's a good idea to start slaying?
No, I think it's a great song. Great. I love.
You love West Ham.
I'm forever blowing bubbles. Forever.
Exactly that. Right. The nickname thing was obviously a fairly solid point. That you nicked. Is that right? You used to have the Blades nickname, and then you nicked it off of it? Yeah, excellent defence from you there, Jimmy, with that one. I think words to the effect that you couldn't live up to the Blades name.
Absolutely right.
I've got no idea whether it's true, but I thought it was very funny. I think it's the first time ever that someone's tried to claim the vicinity of the tram as a reason that their club is bigger. Not a lot of the use of the word infrastructure usually on stoppage time. The name Wednesday is obviously it's
shocking,
isn't it?
Shocking,
and you mentioned cricket, and I hate cricket, so you lost the point for that one, mate. 2013, I understand, is the last time that you beat Sheffield Wednesday, United even, sorry. True or false?
Yeah, I believe so. When you beat us to promotion from League One with 2012, 2013.
Well, you're not going to admit it, are you? And I wouldn't if I was you either. South Barnsley, hilarious stuff. Effectively MK Dons, was it?
Did
you not know Milton Keynes was just south of Barnsley, did you? What did they teach you?
Franchise model. That's what we're going
Exactly. Listen, boys, it was absolutely brilliant. It was a great way to end. It was a wicked decider. And if I'm honest, totally nip and tuck. It's an impossible job for me to choose. And frankly, I can't, based on all of the points you made. But there is one deciding factor. This is stoppage time after all. And as much as making me laugh and saying facts, true or otherwise, is an important part of winning you points, one of the most important things in this debate format is time management. Therefore, with not a lot to choose between, Dan, you did let yourself down. You let Jimmy have 47 seconds to talk at the end. I thought it was going to be too much for him. It wasn't. He defended himself and his club brilliantly. Therefore, the final round goes to Sheffield United and his 3-2 to the Blades on stoppage.
Get it on his board.
Well, there you have it. The final whistle blows on another thunderous Steel City derby here on Stoppage Time. And this time it's the Blades who have cut down their rivals. Hard luck to the Owls, of course. They'll have to lick their wounds until the next clash at Hillsborough. Awful for me as a West Ham fan to have to give it to Sheffield United. But what a game of Stoppage Time it was. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to SunSport's YouTube channel for more fiery derby debates. And we'll see you next time.